Hello saxophone players, I'm Jason Justice with another video, and this time we're going to do a video on octaves. This is a warm-up that I like to use. It utilizes a couple of things. One, it's an embouchure builder. Also, we start learning about the overtone series on the saxophone. That is using your embouchure to move between octaves instead of just the octave key right up here on the top, right? So it's a pretty easy warm-up, and you know, I have a number of warm-ups that I like to do and share with students. Of course, long tones are extremely important, but this particular warm-up I think is great because it starts getting us into the realm of overtones and being able to do multiphonics, being able to do altissimo, right? The high squeaky bird sounds, all of that kind of thing that you hear all the cutting edge sax players use, right? And it doesn't matter what genre you play, having complete and total control of this inanimate object is our goal, right? So there's also a companion PDF file that I have on my website, www.jasonjustice.com. Go to the page at the top that says Lessons and Exercises with Jason and go to Overtone Warm-ups, okay? And there will be a file there for free that you can just download and make a copy of and put in front of you and start working on these. This gets us into some interesting areas as far as developing your ear and your embouchure for doing overtones, and then getting into, of course, altissimo, and that's where we want to go. Remember, I always joke about there being two schools of thought in saxophone playing: the French school, which is about subtlety, which is about playing low B flat at triple pianissimo and in control and all that kind of thing. And then, of course, there's the American school, which is higher, faster, louder. What a surprise. So we want to be able to do both. We want to be able to utilize both of those philosophies in our approach to playing the saxophone. So if you have the PDF in front of you, then you will see that there are a series of notes moving chromatically up the horn, starting with a low D. Now we're going to do the first one with the octave key and the second one without, and we're going to do them on half notes. And you know, I say adagio on the music there. Just go very slowly. Set a metronome, as always. Use a metronome. I am going to, for the purposes of this video, go without a metronome just to demonstrate. I'm just going to do D and D sharp or E flat and E just to show you what we're doing. So the first octave movement is going to be with the octave key, starting on a low D. Pretty easy, right? You just use your thumb, the octave key, you've got it. Now, try it without the octave key. Just by pushing a little bit more of my lip into the reed, I'm able to force the sound from being down at the bottom, go up a whole octave, okay? So, and this comes in handy for those occasions like, I think it was 10 or 15 years ago, I was going for an audition. There was something going on my tenor. I messed around with it, and I broke it. And it broke the octave mechanism, and I still had to do the audition without the octave key. So I was blowing without the octave key, and you know what? It's possible to do. I got the job, so that's a good thing. But you don't want to put yourself in the position that, oh, the octave key is broken and I have to go home. You know, sometimes stuff happens. So here, I'm going to try it again, this time on an E flat or a D sharp. Here we go. That's with the octave key. and E. Now, we want to be able to do these evenly, right? Like just slurring up. Sometimes, like with that last G that I just played, it was obvious that I wasn't going to make it. I just started playing. I haven't warmed up yet, but just you can actually tongue, give it a little bit of articulation, and it'll push you right up there. The higher you go, the harder it is to get these things done. Okay. Once you get to A, G, and A, and B flat and B up on the top end of the horn, it gets a little bit more difficult. So you might want to try articulating with your tongue on that. Just tongue the note when you want to do it without the octave key. Okay, but our goal is for it to be a smooth transition. Just when you're not using the octave key, we want it to sound as if you are. Okay, so once again, this is a great chop builder, right? It's a great warm-up. It kind of gets you inside of the horn, gets you centered and prepared for the massive amount of scales and solos and classical repertoire and everything else that you're going to practice in your practice session. This warm-up moves pretty quickly. You should be able to get it done in 2 to 3 minutes, I think, right? And because we're only going from low D up to C sharp, right? So just moving chromatically up the horn. Look at that download that you've got there in front of you now, I'm sure, because you all went to www.jasonjustice.com, went to Lessons and Exercises with Jason. There's a drop-down menu there, and boom, you see it. The Octave Warm-up. Okay? Any other questions that you might have, feel free to email me at jason@jasonjustice.com, and I'm happy to help you. If you want to get some lessons, we can do it over Skype, or if you're here in the Denver area, be happy to see you here in my studio. All right, happy practicing. Remember, if playing the saxophone was easy, everybody be doing it. Bye-bye.